regards to regional cooperation, and of course how there needs to be more efforts, and these efforts need to be expedited with regards to regional cooperation, of course, with regards to logistics support, with regards to establishing an economic framework for the trade activities between the member states of the SCO. And of course, with regards to that, a joint communique was also signed which focused on economy, trade, socio-cultural and humanitarian aspects, along with the sustainable development goals, which encompasses the issues of climate change, human resource development, poverty alleviation, and of course other issues of regional interest. Security, we know, was also a main highlight of the issue, and the biggest aspect that was deliberated upon was the establishment of the SCO Development Bank, the establishment of the SCO Development Fund, and of course the point that was highlighted, the gradual increase in the share of national currencies in mutual settlements. We deliberated on all of these points before, and we'll continue to talk on these different aspects and the success of this summit. With regards to that, our senior anchor person and the host of PTV World's program Newsroom, Umar Khalid Bhatt, was present in field at the Media Facilitation Center, where all arrangements had been made regarding all of the foreign journalists that were coming in to cover this SCO summit. Umar Khalid Bhatt, thank you for joining us. And of course, how was your experience at the Media Facilitation Center, as very good arrangements had been made, as we heard from all the analysts?
Well, Rafi, the thing is that the arrangement was perfect. It's still are perfect. I am in the media room that you can see. You can see the screens that are behind me that are representing different channels that are also being shown at the same time. There are delegates from all the SCO countries that are sitting. You can't see them, but they are right in front of me, belonging to all the different SCO member countries that are also interacting with their own countries and their own media channels, because their media channels also want to know what happened during this meeting as well. And a lot of activity that happened today, and you must have been, you were there. I was seeing you on PTV World, because we have had the privilege of having PTV World as the only channel that was being displayed at all the screens, on all the big screens, in fact, in this media center as well. And there was a huge interest that was evinced by the foreign journalists that I met also during the course of the day, as to how we can also connect with PTV World, how can we work together, how do we, a lot of people said that they'd like to come as analysts, and there was a huge interest that was shown on as far as our channel is concerned. Well, this said, the activity was there since the morning. I was here since morning time, and I'm still here as we speak. A lot of different journalists, a lot of different interactions. And then, of course, we were also seeing from here the live interaction that were going on as far as General Convention Center is concerned. Then we saw the joint press that also happened between Ishaq Dar Sahab and the Secretary General of the SCO. We before also read through the joint communique that was also handed out, signed by all the different members. Of course, there was a little exception as far as the BRI is concerned, where one member did not participate in that aspect of it. But nevertheless, the whole communique was signed by all the members of the SCO. It was interesting to know, because it was an amalgam of different cultures that was here and is still here as we speak. Some of the delegations have left, but there are others who are still there, who are still communicating, who are still, talking, discussing, and of course, interacting as far as their points of views on different issues that were highlighted during the SCO meeting is concerned. We all know this is the 23rd meeting of the Council of the Heads of Government of the member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, I don't need to introduce it, because you've been doing it since the last couple of days as well, Rafi, and I think you've done a very commendable job. I think that the SCO represents an organization that is a game changer at this moment when we speak of different, regional or international organizations. Just look at the scope of the SCO. Just look at the scope of what it represents as far as the dynamic is concerned, the economy is concerned, the populace is concerned, and the potential is concerned. And this whole group of countries together can achieve sometimes the unthinkable, and that is what has been discussed during the course of this 23rd meeting of the Council of the Heads of Government of the Member States of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. I'm sure you must have
Definitely, as mentioned, as you mentioned, Umar, multilateral magic, if what we can term it in short terms. Of course, we've been joined by Mumtaz Zara Baloch, the Foreign Office spokesperson, to talk more about this. Umar Khalid Bhatt, over to you for the questioning.
Thank you. Mumtaz Zara Baloch, thank you very much to have joined us. I saw you today many a times at the media center as well, and you were very active. And we saw the role of the Foreign Office in all of this that as being on the center stage. How now that most of it is over, and of course some of the delegations have left, some will be leaving. How would you, looking back at it, see this 23rd meeting of the Council of heads of government of the member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization as a major game changer, and how it has uplifted the image of Pakistan within all the member states that were there and also within the global community?
Thank you, Omar. You're absolutely right. This was an important occasion for Pakistan's diplomacy. The 23rd heads of government meeting of SCO, Pakistan was the chair, Pakistan was the host, and in that capacity, we showcased Pakistan's traditional hospitality when we hosted all these leaders in Pakistan. These leaders were in Pakistan after a very long time. And also in our capacity as the chair of the organization, this meeting, we brought together all the member countries to consensus and adopted a very comprehensive and forward-looking joint communique that you were just discussing. And we are very proud of that achievement. With that, Pakistan has showed to the international community that we can host and chair important international conferences. And we have also demonstrated our capacity to develop consensus amongst countries with diverse viewpoints and lead a particular group on economic matters.
Well, at Zara Baloch, also, there were many aspersions that were being cast before this, mood happened. A lot of questions mark that were raised as far as Pakistan is concerned. And all those have been negated through the sheer magnitude of this event that took place today. And of course, yesterday also, there was a cultural evening when everybody was there. There was a very positive mood around. This is what I saw all day today at this media center, and the mood is still there as I speak. Do you feel that this is something that all the delegates will take back from them to their respective countries? And do you feel this will change the whole perspective of how Pakistan has been moving towards regional and global harmony?
You're absolutely right. I also experienced a very positive energy throughout this conference. The interaction of delegates with each other, and of course the energy and amity between the various components of the media, and it was very heartwarming to see that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization could bring together diverse voices and diverse opinions, and we were able to come up with a very solid outcome. And another important thing that I must underline is that this conference, the success of this conference, is a success of the nation of Pakistan. We came together to support this conference. The entire government of Pakistan, led by the Prime Minister, all government departments worked together in unison to make it a success. And we received full support and cooperation from the Pakistani public and Pakistani media. This shows that when we come together as a nation, we can present a very positive image of ourselves and can be very proud of our achievements.
Ma'am Mumtaz, also, if I look at the joint communique that I have in my hands right now, which is a huge, huge communique, I see a lot of times economy is, the center point of the different points of the commonality that have been agreed to by the member states of the SCO. How important do you feel this is going to move forward as far as bilateral or multilateral socio-economic cooperation between the member countries of the SCO is concerned?
Yes, you're absolutely right. This conference focused on economic and connectivity and socio-economic development, and that is the agenda of heads of government meeting. Besides that, of course, the conference also focused on the budget of the organization. And you have seen that it is a very comprehensive agenda. It is responsive to the needs of developing countries, which are struggling in light of the developments that are taking place internationally, the disruption of supply chains, the reduced investment flows, the uncertainty in global financial markets, the protectionist measures that are taken by richer countries, the impediments to international trade, and the threats to the World Trade Organization centered trading system. That we see as a major outcome of this conference, that we are determined to work towards a rules-based World Trade Organization centered multilateral trading system, which is inclusive, which is equitable, which is transparent, and which is responsible to the needs of the developing countries. And this is a common ground on which these countries can work together and make a path for themselves, because when these barriers are no longer there, developing countries can move ahead and enter markets which are where there are all these artificial barriers and creating difficulties for import and exports from developing countries.
All right, last question to you. I've taken a lot of your time, and I know you've been a very, very busy woman these last days, so I don't want to take too much of your time. But finally, I'd just like to add to the NSU initiative of on world unity for a just peace, harmony, and development. Do you feel this 23rd meeting of the Council of the Heads of Government of the SCO member states managed to achieve that during the course of its meeting?
I would like to respond in positive, because this is, first of all, the conference, the atmosphere in the conference was positive. Secondly, that delegations were present at very high levels. That gives the clear direction, because when the decisions are taken at the leadership level, there is a serious commitment by the countries concerned. And thirdly, we think the role that the chair, Pakistan, played in bringing all these diverse voices together, in coming to a consensus on all these diverse and very important ideas, shows that Pakistan, as the chair of SCO, had full commitment to make this conference a success. And we hope that in the next 2 years, when Pakistan becomes the chair of the heads of state meeting, we will be playing a similarly constructive and positive role.
Inshallah ta'ala, inshallah ta'ala. And just looking at, the different comments that I was seeing and hearing from while interacting with journalists from all the other SCO member countries, there was only positivity at the end of the day, Everybody was extremely happy and, very satisfied by all the arrangements that were provided by the government. And it shows a very positive sign as far as not only, intergovernmental, but also SCO ties are concerned, and this will be a next step as far as Pakistan's presence and Pakistan's role within the ambit of the SCO is concerned. Thank you very much, Mumtaz Zahra Baloch Sahaba, to have joined us and to have given us the time. And again, thank you very much for all the arrangement that was made today. Mumtaz Zahra Baloch, ladies and gentlemen, spokesperson of the Foreign Office, joining us on Newsroom. All the way back to you, Rafe. Rafe, what a wonderful, wonderful day. What a wonderful location to showcase Pakistan, to showcase how Pakistan can be more than.
For, of course, as we were talking earlier, it's all praise for the government of Pakistan for hosting this successful summit. Congratulations to the government, the Information Ministry for setting up the Media Facilitation Center, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Of course, we know that it was a concerted effort from all the ministries of the government, and of course, with regards to that, we know the security arrangements made, all the beautification efforts. It's all praise that we're hearing, and a huge success as we're hearing from all quarters. To talk more about this, we've been joined by Dr. Niaz Murtaza, political analyst. Umar Bhatt, it's over to you for the questions.
Thank you very much, Rafe. And of course, we are seeing a lot of bilateral meetings also that are being held on the sidelines of this. Dr. Niaz Musa, thank you very much to have joined us. And of course, as you have witnessed as well, today was a wonderful, wonderful day as far as Pakistani diplomacy is concerned, as far as Pakistani relations within the ambit of the SCO is concerned. And we only heard praise from whosoever was taking part in the SCO, at least from all those that I have met. I mean, I couldn't meet the prime ministers, of course, but I'm sure the same sentiment was also echoed by all the other leaders. How would you, looking back at now all that has happened within this 23rd meeting of the, meeting of the Council of Heads of Government of the SCO states, how do you view this whole process that you've just seen, witnessed yourself as an analyst?
Dr. Niaz, are you with us? Are we audible to you? Right, we're having trouble connecting to Dr. Niaz, and we'll try to reconnecting to him. But regarding that, the same point that you raised, of course, Umar, as you've also said, that it was a very positive environment that you've witnessed, of course, and we know that bilateral meetings were also held. With regards to that, regional cooperation in these modern times, President Xi's vision, cooperation, not confrontation, we saw the Shanghai spirit being upheld in its true sense and its true form. What's your viewpoint on how the positive atmosphere and the Shanghai spirit in these times of conflicts and heightened tensions?
You know, Rafe, the Shanghai spirit is that the key that holds the SCO together, and the way the Shanghai spirit has been enforced or implemented during the course of all the different meetings of the SCO that have been held and were held, of course, today as well, shows that all the countries within the SCO are serious about taking this organization forward and, taking this organization in the right direction. There's a need for consensus. There's a need for unity. There's a need for economic development and economic prosperity and economic stability within the nations of the SCO. And that is what seems to be one of the hallmarks of the SCO as we speak. And this is what the countries also who have been part of the deliberations have had to say during the whole course of the day. Whether it be, our dear friends, China and Russia and all the other countries that were part of there, and even countries like India that were part, whose foreign minister was here. His tweet also, reverberated the same sentiment. And it shows some kind of a positivity as far as the way the SCO is moving forward. The fact is that the SCO is an organization that has a combined GDP of around 24 trillion US dollars, which is a huge, huge amount. Just look at the populace, just look at the countries that form the SCO. And the importance becomes paramount in the whole geostrategic or geopolitical or geoeconomic changes that are happening in the world, all the different conflicts that we are also seeing.
Right, of course, Umar, we'll continue deliberating on, of course, the success that this SCO summit has, how successful this summit has been. Of course, we've been joined by Dr. Niaz Murtaza. Dr. Niaz, thank you for your time and being part of the conversation. But before we move towards the questions, am I audible to you?
Pleasure to be in your program.
Umar, it's over to you for the questions. We have Dr. Niaz connected with us.
Okay, Niaz, I hope you were witness to all that happened, whether it be this meeting, whether it be all the meetings that happened on the sidelines. If I were to ask you, what were your impressions of this 23rd meeting of the heads of government of the SCO member states? What would it be?
I think it's been largely successful, and it's been, the biggest gathering of global leaders in Pakistan in a long time. So it's kind of, put Pakistan back on the map, and it's gotten an opportunity to, showcase its ability to host large meetings like this. And then beyond that, in terms of specific benefits, we need to understand the nature of SCO. It's not like G7, a group of advanced donor countries. It includes obviously China, which is a heavyweight, a global power. But then, and then of course there is Russia, which is an energy global power. But then beyond that, there are a lot of developing countries at varying length of stages of their development. So basically, what we are looking for from this engagement is not necessarily flow of funds. We already have our separate bilateral relationship with China for investment and loans, etc. But here, the issue is more in terms of engagement and collaboration between developing countries on a variety of technical areas. So if you look at the long communique, you see that it's replete with areas like technical cooperation, economic cooperation, IT, small and medium enterprises. So it's a lot of technical collaboration. So I think that was one area where all the countries, including Pakistan, got together to see how to push their cooperation in these areas further, and in mutually beneficial exchanges. So I think that will be an important area to follow up and to make sure that those agreements that have been made in these areas mature in the future and start yielding results. Then the second area is that these are all, of course, countries except maybe India, which are not really core parts of the Western dominated global order, and especially China and Russia, Iran, etc., are vehement opponents of the monopoly, the hegemony, the dominance of Western countries. So you also see a lot of reference to having a unified response on global political and economic matters, and ensuring that we have a just global economic and political order. So I think given the weight of some of these countries, that's another very important areas to look at. Then the third area that could have materialized was more about physical integration, because most of these countries are within this region, they're neighbors to each other. But unfortunately, that integration has not taken place so far, and a lot of that has to do with the situation in Afghanistan, which is not even invited, although it's an observer country. And although the communique doesn't show that, but most of the countries are neighbors or very close to Afghanistan, and I am sure there must have been some discussions on how to make Afghanistan more stable, so that that physical integration that can take place between Central Asia and then more like the southern countries like Pakistan and Iran, how to take that forward, because we've been talking a lot about that for a long time, but unfortunately the situation in Afghanistan doesn't allow that. So all in all, I'm sure it must have been discussed in some form or the other. So a more useful meeting in a variety of ways, and I think we can pat ourselves on the back for doing that.
Definitely, we can more than pat ourselves on the back, because the sentiment is very, very positive here, at least in the media center where I'm even now, with all the members that are still present there. I think it's a wonderful gathering to be around, and the plethora of ideas that are also circulating with the journalists on how we can further infuse energy as far as the different SEO projects is concerned. Now, I have the communique right here with me, and one of the things that I just see in the very beginning is the member states advocating respect for the rights of peoples to independently and democratically choose their political, social, and economic development, emphasizing on the principles of mutual respect for the sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of states, equality, mutual benefit, non-interference in internal affairs, and use of force or threat of use of force are the basis of sustainable development of international relations. How do you view this? I think it's a very, very strong part of the communique.
It is, and as I was saying, the second objective was to have a unified voice on global matters, because there's a lot of interference from Western countries, domination, bossing around, and how you should run your countries. So I think that was an important message that goes around. But then, beyond its international implications, I think there are also some regional implications, because some regional countries also use the threat of violence and those kind of ideas. And if you see, when you come to the OBOR, every country signed up to that except India, and it has its own designs, etc. So I think that statement not only has global implications, but also in terms of regional relationships. It re-emphasizes the importance of ensuring peaceful cooperation, sorting out issues peacefully, and not being belligerent in your relationships with your neighbors.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much, Niaz. I think I'll toss it over to Rafi, who has a question to ask you.
I have a question for you, Omar. Thank you, Dr. Niaz Murtaza, for being with us and being part of the conversation. Well, we've been joined by Lieutenant General Raza Khan, who is a defense analyst. So thank you for your time and being part of the conversation. We're moving towards Umar Bhatt for the questions.
Thank you very much, Raza Saab, to have joined us. Raza Saab, it's a day of immense pride as far as Pakistan is concerned. The way the whole 23rd meeting of the heads of government of the SCO member states was conducted. When now looking a little back at it, I mean, it's not really, some of the delegations have left, some are going to leave. And there's a lot of activity going on in the media center where I'm currently present as well. What would you see as the takeaways of this important meeting?
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Umar, thank you for calling me. I think it's a matter of great, satisfaction and pride for the whole nation to be able to host the SCO Head of Government Summit in a flawless manner. And this will go a long way, in improving the image of the country and also, our capacity to hold such mega events in the future. Despite the fact that, many efforts were made by the enemies of Pakistan to sabotage the SCO summit, and there were even threats of some political disruptions. But it is, as I said again, a great matter of satisfaction that it has gone so well. Now, some of the takeaways, the important ones are, and the Prime Minister also made a mention of that, and that is that I think everybody, perhaps except one country, have endorsed the expansion of the BRI and the CPEC, and the establishment and expansion of the South Corridor, despite divergent political perspective of the matter, because this is in the interest of the economic stability, the political stability of the entire region, which is the Eurasian region. At the same time, the Prime Minister made again references to two most crucial issues. One is, his assessment that the majority of the members are for use of mutual currencies for trade through the SCO Interbank Union. And this is essential, to avoid global financial disruption, like the COVID in the past, or, sanctions on certain countries like Russia, Iran, and also, when we talk about the Iran-Pakistan pipeline. So that, I think, would be in the interest of many countries, particularly Pakistan. Also, the issue of reformation of the regional anti-terrorism structure, or RATS, was mentioned by the Prime Minister.
I think the importance of RATs is it's paramount, General Raza. And thank you very much to have joined us.